All right, so it's got the screen. All right, so let me go to live streaming. All right, so let me see here.
Let me refresh.
All right,
Be
so
live now. Let me see. Let me turn up the volume.
yeah, maybe
Test,
see.
test, 1, 2. Oh, shit, it went offline again.
Are you serious? Man, it's been
All right.
good
Hold on,
all.
wait. It's there now.
That shit's crazy. It's been good all day today. Nice trading.
Recycling.
Then all of a sudden, I'm actually doing the show, and that's when it wants to fuck up.
Everybody need to get off the phone.
It shouldn't be you. That shouldn't be the cause of this shit. You know, I know people coming home after work and shit like that, logging online, and I know all this shit is all, you know, a shared connection. But damn.
Right. Well, it looks like it's up now. All right.
All right, so Mr. Lloyd,
Yeah.
what are going to be your moves moving forward, man? I mean,
Well. So CVSI, looks like it's coming back around, man. I'm glad I didn't dump $900. So it may be forming that cup and handle. So look, if you look at the 1 day,
mm-hmm.
I mean, shit. I feel like it's a good. What the hell is that, Sal? I don't understand why your chart looks like that. Is that a 1 day chart? Is that intraday?
Well, this right now, what I'm just showing right now, no, what you're seeing right now is a little bit delayed, but now I just changed to the 1 day. But it's
Okay, I'm like,
going, it's sliding down. It's still
what the
bearish.
hell is this? What the hell is that? The cookie crumb fucking chart or what? I'm like, every time I see that, it kills me to see all those lines, dots.
Yeah, I mean, it's not consistent buying in the stock. I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Is
Is that the chart
patches.
right there?
Yeah, that's the chart
Oh,
right there. 1 day.
man, let me show you what I have because I don't see the same thing you see. Maybe you might be using a different style of chart. So let me paste this in here, and you can look at my trading view chart and tell me if you see a difference.
Let me see here. Okay, yours is kind of different. Yeah, yours is different. Let me see what kind of settings do you have there.
It's a 1 day chart. I don't know what the hell that is right there. Let me blow yours up to see what it is.
SEC hiking. Okay, so you are using a little bit of a different chart though. You're using this. You're using a hiking ashy chart. You're using this. That's what you're using. The hinky ashy chart. It's not a real. It's. I mean, you can do that. I mean,
Okay,
you know, but
there it is.
it's, you know, but I don't know. I like the regular bar chart. This is
That
not
still doesn't.
necessarily. This is not.
That
This
still
is
doesn't
not.
look like a 1 day chart.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as yours. Yours is because yours, what you just showed me, it wasn't a 1 day chart. It's
It's a
this is
1
like,
day. If you look at it is 1 day.
if you look all the way at the bottom, you see how you see all the months there. It's a yearly chart.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a year. That's a yearly chart that you showed me. So
Okay.
yours looks
Okay.
like this. That's what I'm looking at right now, which is a yearly chart.
Okay. Well, you be fucking me up when you be having that shit up there. Like, yeah, it looks bearish, and all I see is these damn dots and lines.
Yeah. This is not this. Yeah, this is not a bar chart. It's the hanky anchi or whatever the hell that is. But let me
Actually,
go back.
Blueberry got me. I don't know what the difference is. Let me put up a bar chart because I'm a candle man too. So, yeah, it does look bearish from a candle standpoint.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that haiku or the uchi whatever you call it, Heineken looks like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I'm waiting on CVSI to come around. I mean, I couldn't bear to take away fucking $900, man. I mean, that's ridiculous. So if it was a pump and dump, I probably would have took my money out of it. I mean, if it was like NEWC. And speaking of NEWC, it may be coming around again, man. It's going back to the sub-zeros, and
Man,
like I told you before,
I don't want to hear nothing about NEWC. I mean,
Hey, all I said was this is the first stock my friend told me about. How she buys it at the sub pennies, like the 002,
Mm-hmm.
and some bullshit ass news comes out and it spikes up to 01 to 04, and she sells. So either Christmas time and springtime. So, but I know you don't want to hear, but it's been she's been doing that for years, and so I was supposed to do it this come around, but I wasn't bold enough to buy $1,000 worth of shares at 002.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I decided to sit back and watch. I put a couple $100 in there. I made a little money, but people talking about that shit going to $1. I knew that was some bullshit there.
Right. Right. Hell
But
no, that's
yeah.
not going to no dollar anytime soon, man. Fuck that.
So, other
Lies,
than that,
lies,
man,
lies.
yeah, I'm still waiting around on INV to come around. Ain't nothing going on with that, and like I said, basically I'm just still consolidating every damn thing, but pretty soon I'll be talking about some profits I made. But as far as options, man, options have been doing very good, and actually every morning, my goal is to make $200 or $300 a day within 30 minutes. And if I can do that on a consistent basis, I mean, I'll be making 70 grand a year just doing that alone. So, and I guess by doing the $200 to $300 a day, basically is training me to take those smaller profits instead of trying to get those home run hitters. Because I know a lot of you guys out there, man. You see these guys making $5,000 or $6,000. That's where I want to be too.
Mm.
But it doesn't happen that way. And as much as you guys say take those small profits, I laughed about taking $80 or $120. Even when I was up $300, I laughed at it, and that shit just went away a couple of days later.
Yeah.
So, I'm being a little bit more appreciative of that, and if I can do that each day, every 30 minutes, it'll add up. So, anyways, man, that's all I wanted to say, and I hope you have a good one, and let's keep that chicken grease off the line, man. It's clogging that shit up.
There it is, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the
All
call,
right.
man.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lloyd, appreciate Mr. Lloyd for calling. Always a good call when Mr. Lloyd calls. And look, I mean, we can go back to, what's the IDXG? IDXG. And, there were so many stocks. Again, I started the show telling you guys there were so many stocks running. I mean, we can go back to, shout out to the guy who called up the other day and gave up live. Who was that guy? I'm gonna have to start writing down people's names out, man. Let me drop one of DJ Clue's bombs for him. Dude gave live the other day. Let me drop another one for you, man. That's absolutely incredible. LIVE. The stock was already pretty high, but I mean, $2 a share in one day. LIVE. Huge move for whoever called up that day and gave up. This was Tuesday. Tuesday called up and gave live, LIVE, on the chart. Sure enough, the stock runs pretty good. And we had a couple of those. GLBS, just to review a little bit, GLBS, today was a shorter's paradise. It will be for some time. I mean, that's a stock that's still got to give, quite a bit back. And it'll do so. Very, very bearish momentum. Pretty much, I think it's going back to 4. It's probably going back to 4 where it took off at. Going back to some of these little quick stocks we looked at. ARRY. I'm still watching ARRY. Small gain today. This was interesting because this was a red to green day today at ARRY. It came out really ugly after the morning bell. Pulled back, tried to get up high. Couldn't hold, and eventually cracked really low, but then found some support there at 843, and gained from 843, 30 cents a share from noon. So here ARRY finding some lunchtime support, and ARRY going from red to green for ARRY. Interesting move there for penny stock ARRY, stock that we talked about here a couple times. So I'm still watching it. Still watching it. The stock is up over 32% in November. For November, got up to 32%. We'll see what it does for December. But a stock that had a very strong move in November, I'm continuing to watch it. Yeah, Bank of America, man. I can go on and on and on about Bank of America. PRZM. I'm not watching PRZM. But what it did today, absolutely, again, another incredible move. I mean, I can't say how many stocks were running, and I haven't even gotten to the stock that I played today. I hadn't even really gotten to that. We mentioned, we don't talk about the Qs too much here. But KEG XQ was very, for me, because I know the stock and I know how it plays. Very, very reliable move today. 56% gain on this Q winner, based on the news that dropped yesterday. So very strong move. They basically announced the fact that they had announced for Chapter 11, which was already new people, where that was going. But the plan was agreed to. There's no doubt in my mind. I do believe if somebody can read that and say for a fact that shareholders are going to get wiped out, I didn't see that in the plans, but it's not nothing I'm betting on. Just got in with a couple $100, got my money, and got the fuck out of there. 56% gain today on KEGXQ. Huge move for a couple oil plays today. USO, another one. We got some options on USO, 22%. The alternative, which is very similar, pretty much the same thing, UCO, up 38 cents to 3.62. UCO slightly cheaper, about $1 cheaper than USO, but again, another great ETF that you can use to see where you are with the oil plays. Yeah, ton of different stocks, man. Ton of different stocks that are playing out there. Apps for the swing trade. I've been very disappointed with apps and what's been going on with apps. But it's so funny you brought that up. I looked at apps about 2 days ago, and to think of apps at 59 cents from where it used to be, it's almost sad. It's almost sad, really. But apps for the swing, maybe at this price, it doesn't seem too bad. Doesn't seem too bad at 59 cents. But it's just been so bearish for quite a bit. But it does have some range. And, when it does find a floor, it does take off. The 52-week low is 56 cents, and we're attempting to touch the 52-week low, which is insane. Which is absolutely insane. Which is absolutely insane. For a good swing, so you're looking at what, maybe 6-7 cents? 6-7 cents? I don't know if it's worth it. I think there are a couple other plays out here that are guaranteed money that I don't know if I have the patience for when I look at apps that I'm thinking about what for a swing. I think you got a lot of better trades out here you can run. All right. You said IDGX after hours, people collecting profits. Look, that's what they said about Sprint. There were some people on this show when we talked about Sprint and how excited we were for Sprint for Wednesday's gains. They said it was over. I'm going back here to the 6th when it was announced. The stock was just under 8 when it was announced, and sure enough, there was some profit taking. About an hour later, there was already insane amount of profit taken. And I'll be the first one. I can tell you, I was a little bit worried when I saw that. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? The CEO of the parent company of Sprint just went to Trump Tower and said he's going to spend $50 billion in America. He owns Sprint, so obviously some of that money is going to help the company he already owns. Why are people taking profits right now? Like, what is this about? What's going on here? So I was a little worried going into Tuesday night's show. And man, all the worry was pretty much gone after Wednesday's performance. Wednesday's performance was absolutely insane on Sprint. And, big money being made there. It is an expensive stock. I know it's not the cheapest thing out there. I get it. Not the cheapest thing out there. Red day today for the stock. It'll be a red day tomorrow, too. I'm expecting another red day for Sprint tomorrow. And I think tomorrow for Sprint is going to be the real, like, oh, God, what's going on? Because it's got to give some of that gain back, okay? Because at the end of the day, this deal isn't on paper. It's basically just, chatter. He basically just said it. He didn't put it on paper or proclaim it or anything. The company didn't release any news stating this is what they're going to do and that Sprint is going to get this amount of money. He just kind of, say, oh, yeah, this is what we think we're going to do for Sprint. All right. What is that? Going off after hours? MSTX. Somebody's bringing up MSTX. What's going on with MSTX? MSTX, 12 cents a share. Is it going off after hours? I'm seeing somebody in the chat room saying it's going off after hours. What's going on with MSTX after hours? Let me see here. What's the after hours price right now, MSTX? I like to go to NASDAQ.com for it because they tend to update pretty frequently, even faster sometimes than the brokers. Okay, up 67% after hours. I don't see any news. Let me see here. I see a couple. I don't see any crazy trades. Because sometimes the last 5 real-time trades, if somebody put in an insane purchase price, it tends to throw off the after-hours price. But I don't see it. We'll watch it. Yeah, we'll watch it today. I'll watch the stock today. MSTX opened up at 9 cents, got to a high of 12. And let me see here. It got to a high of 12 today. That's the chart. That's the 1-day chart. So something got out here. Some word. Does this based on no news? Something got out here. A rumor. Somebody on the inside hooked up their friends. Hey man, get in. Something's about to happen. So MSTX is on the watch, man. This is really interesting. MSTX was the drug failure not too long ago. So here we go, MSTX getting back on the boards, man. Getting back on the boards. MSTX with the 42% gain today. All right, trading generator, so you're in at 9 cents. Not bad. In at 9 cents. That was a good trade. If you're in at 9 cents on MSTX. Again, this is a stock you can just grab a ton of. You know what I'm saying? You just, $1,000 is like 4,000 share or something ridiculous amount like that. Just like an OTC. But when they run like OTCs, man, you gotta continually just watch your account. Just that green just starts to add up, and those numbers go higher and higher and higher. Go higher and higher and higher. Yeah, shout out to Travi, by the way. Travi, appreciate you for giving me that link, man, to How to Make Millions. Yes, I do have the link to How to Make Millions. It's so funny you asked me that because I just asked Travi for the link to How to Make Millions last night. Shout out to him for helping me out with that. And there's the link to How to Make Millions. How to Make Millions DVD. Salute to Tim Sykes. Appreciate that, brother. We'd buy your DVD, but you're not gonna buy it for $1,700, man. You know what I'm saying? I would buy it. I mean, but not for $1,700. I'm sorry. I'm not buying a DVD for $1,700. Do you know how many, shares of ONCI, of MSTX? I mean, I can buy a ton of more money for that. Now the excuse for the DVDs, they say, oh well, it pays itself back. Well, I was like, well, if I bought it for $70, it'll pay itself back too. So, what's your point? What's your point? I'm not paying $1,700 for a DVD. ETRM, 29% gain today. ETRM. I don't like the giveaway back. The give back in ETRM toward the end of the day there. I've seen with a lot of stocks, they're going to give back toward the end of the hour, especially stocks like ETRM that run huge intraday like they did. But Looking at this chart, can you tell me that ETRM is going to run again tomorrow? You know, and is it running off this 7 day old news about some V block therapy commercialization? You tell me. ETRM 9 cents after hours? Oh, okay. So you're saying, okay, all right. So what's going on after hours in it? So we got some other things going on. God, okay. So, God, what's going on with these stocks after hours like that, man? And then there's just no reason for them to be up because I don't see anything released after hours. So we got people putting in orders like they know something. They putting in orders like they know something. So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna watch it too. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it too. Somebody said it's at 9 cents. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. You know, these penny runners on NASDAQ run. I mean, you saw IDXG today. These penny runners on NASDAQ, they will go insane. They go insane. It was really interesting to see that the market didn't step in today. The market didn't step in and affect IDXG at all. They didn't halt it. They didn't, they let the stock just run. They let it run the way the market is supposed to act. And it's really interesting for the penny stocks how they do that. For the $7, for the $8, that is why it lets me know this shit is rigged, right? Because the big hedge funds and the money managers, they don't necessarily play this. These are guys like you and me. Maybe you got a couple millionaires, you got a couple, maybe these smaller funds that got some money on the side and trying to pad their gains for the year. But for the most part, you work at a respectable bank, any kind of respectable, institution of finance, you don't play stocks like this, even at these prices, even, yes, at this good news. So NASDAQ, if they don't step in and halt this shit, but let a $9 stock run or a $10 stock run 300%, they will be all over that shit, halting and slowing it down, and it's insane, man. It's insane. SGY, Stone Energy Corp. Yeah, we've talked about SGY here before. We've talked about SGY. 4% gain today. Oil and gas play. There's some cheaper oil and gas plays out there that I like a lot better. One of them is WG. We had a dude call up on WG on Tuesday, and I like WG, man. WG is not too bad. You had a little bit of a sell-off yesterday, but the stock recovered real nicely today. So WG Tuesday list ran good today. 832, you're on the air.
What's up, Sal? This is Cedric Williams, man.
Cedric Williams, man.
Yeah, I was just calling. This is my first time calling. Enjoy the show and everything. I got to give big ups to, I think his name's Stewie, on the alert on IDXGXY or whatever it was, the big one of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a couple. I was actually in, what was it called? PH. Let me look for it.
Mm-hmm. We didn't even get to.
I got into PHMD today.
PHMD.
And yeah, that one ran. I think it went from I seen it this morning, and I got to thank you for the ups on the tandem trader link and all that kind of good stuff. So I got that, and then I've been watching that like crazy. I've been through 10 sites and all that kind of stuff, and I watched Tim Gattani's DVD, which is pretty good. But I think the things that the tandem trader teaches you, and I don't think if y'all haven't watched that DVD yet, the best part of it, I think, that really helped me become a better trader, is because I'm good at getting major gains, but then it becomes that I have that one loss, and because I don't have a set risk or a place where I say, okay, this is hit, I need to get out, I blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think, and one other thing I learned in the DVD is that for Mr. Lloyd, because he called in earlier, he was like, how do you sit through something that goes 300, 500%? And basically, I think Nate in the DVD says if you have trouble sitting in a trade, it's probably because you have too much size. If you have the right amount of size, you're able to let it sit and do what it needs to do, and you take profits along the way. That way, today I got in ETRM or whatever it was, the stock that went from it was like $6. 6 cents, and it went up to like 9 cents now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, beforehand it was trading an ABCD, and so I said, okay, I'm gonna buy, and I bought it at like 0.077 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I saw the ABCD and looked like it was gonna go up, and then it had like kind of crashed down to like 6 cents and some change.
Now, before you go a little further, I mean, I know you can't explain it all, but what do you exactly mean by ABCD? Let the people in the audience know exactly what that means.
Okay. Well, can you pull up that chart that we were that I was just talking about, the one that was 6 cents? I think it was ETRM. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I got it up. Mm-hmm.
Okay. For some reason, my thing is not caught up with you completely.
But I'm sure you can give like at least a verbal, idea of what exactly.
So basically, when you see a stock basically go parabolic, and then it dips hard, and then it'll go, excuse me, it'll rise.
Mm-hmm.
It won't completely reach that top, and then it'll dip back under, and it'll create a higher low than the previous low,
mm-hmm.
and then it'll like, sure enough, it'll shoot right past the first top that it made, and they teach you to take your gains once it passes that point.
Okay.
And so I saw that happen, and so that's why I bought it at like 7 cents or whatever have you, and it failed, and then there was some prior resistance of where it was at the where it made the big drop off, when it had the big gain, then it dropped down,
mm-hmm.
and then it was going back up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once it breaks the prior resistance, and it's messed up the ABCD pattern. So then I go ahead. That's my cue to get out. So that was something that they taught me in the DVD, and it helped me, keep my loss to a minimum, because it went on down to the real low sixes, and I ended up losing like $30. And so I was like, that's not terrible. I can do deal with $30 loss.
Yeah.
But for when I did in the beginning, when I was in PHMD, I saw it because of the scan. I don't know if you guys have FinViz either, but watch that DVD. Look at the scans that Nate does, and that way it'll kind of give you a good idea of the things that potentially could run. Because there's a lot of things that I had on my scan that didn't run. Like, I didn't have IDGX, but
mm-hmm.
I had the PHMD. And once I saw it in like 408, and then I looked at the full chart, it was just like shooting straight up, and it didn't have any real resistance. I bought in at like 418, and then it shot up all the way to 550. And so I held it, and because I was in a good position. I'm at 418. I'm like, I'm patient. I have a good cushion. I'm not going to sell right off.
Mm-hmm.
So once I saw it break the $5 mark, I was like, okay, it's time to take profits. This is too much of a retrace. And and if you watch the DVD, they'll teach you about the fade, the end of day fade. And so it started, instead of looking like the front side of a move, it started looking like the back side of a move. So I changed up,
mm-hmm.
and I shorted it at 490. It was 495, and then I covered it at 480. but it went all the way down to like 460 at a point. But I lost my patience. I didn't feel like, because it wasn't like major volume today.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I ended up letting it go because I was like looking at IDGX. I was like, and then I saw ETRM. I was like, man, there's so much profit I could probably take. But I ended up getting out of ETRM. Like I said, it broke my wrist point, and I just left it alone. And now it's like ripped back up to 9 cents. But that happens. But you gotta just the DVD is called Tandem Trader for Travi in the chat room. It's called Tandem Trader, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the link in just a second. Good DVD. I gotta check that out again.
Yeah, man, you gotta watch. Not everything on that DVD is not gonna be like something like. They have one where it's like kind of catching like the very bottom of a stock, like almost like a falling knife, and then you want to buy and then buy on the and expect it to go up. That's too dangerous for me.
Yeah.
Like you know. But the ABCD pattern that you'll find on there, and then the faders on the DVD, major help to my trading system. And now I got to a point to where I can trade, and once I see a stock going against me or is breaking against a pattern, or it looks like something that I've seen before, it looks like something I need to be short on instead of long, or vice versa. I'm out. I'm changing up my game plan and going to something else. So. That's kind of my, and I want to give you my picks. I think I scanned today before I called, and
All
I'm
right.
looking at
Show me what you got.
OSG. It looks like it had a huge gap from like $8 down to I think it's like $3 or something like that now.
Okay. Yeah, it's at 355 today.
And you see it ramping up. I think it's gonna fill that gap. Now, you just have to play it by how it opens up and everything. Don't just get into the trade. Just watch it is basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I was looking at Fannie Mae, FNMA. I think that's how the ticker goes. But that's a ticker that. If you ever watch any of Tim Gurtani's trades, he traded that and made a bunch of money as a former runner. And if you look at the day chart, you see it went parabolic, it pulled back, consolidated, and now it looks like it's going to run again. So I think you'll be okay if it does run. I would probably get out around the previous top of where it ran, and then it pulled back that next day, just because there's going to be people that's going to be looking to short at that resistance again. So, but you got a little bit of ways before that, like a couple bucks before that happens. So, looking at that, and there was another one.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at going back to Fannie Mae real quick. I saw the high was exactly actually at 5. So close today at 399. You think we could possibly touch 5? Not necessarily tomorrow, but you think we can look to touch 5 in the next couple, maybe, obviously, with the good gain tomorrow and then maybe early next week?
Oh yeah, cause it's a previous runner, man, and like if you look at it, it looks like any other stock that does a pullback and is amping up to go again. And my last one I was going to tell you about, it might be a little bit overpriced for some people, but VRS looks like it has a little bit of room before it gets to $8 tomorrow. So I'm looking to probably have that on my watch list as well. I'm not completely done, but searching tonight. But I think that those 3 stocks are definitely going to be on my watch list to watch, along with the IDGX. And hope everybody else does well. Again, I want to thank everybody in the chat room on Concord for alerting. I didn't exactly get in it, but, the fact that it was there, you had people, all the eyes, it helps, man, to everybody else. And then I've been in the Tim Sykes chat room, and you have people, kind of pumping stocks, like it's really no good and all that kind of stuff. But people in the Concord, and I think all of us, don't have that type of motive. And right now, at least I can speak for that. Everybody is, trying to help everybody out, trying to make some money.
Right,
and I really appreciate that from everybody
Yes,
in the
indeed.
chat room, man. So everybody keep on doing what you're doing.
Now, before you get off, are you talking about the Discord room?
Yeah, Discord.
Oh,
That's what I
okay, yeah,
mean.
okay. I'm thinking you were talking about something else. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And Mr. Lloyd, man, you gotta let go of them bags, man. You can't do it, man. Let them go, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this little short story, and I'm gonna let you go. But there was a stock called SNDY. I don't even know if it's trading anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But this is when I first got into stocks and everything.
Yeah, no.
And I bought it when it was like 0.00, maybe another 0.2,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it went down like next couple of days down to 0.0001 or whatever. And so I had like $500 in it, and it went down to, I had 250. And so, there was other plays, and all that kind of stuff that I had that I wanted to get into, and I'm just like sitting here on this stock or whatever. And it went up to like, I want to say maybe like a year later or something like that. It went up to like 6 cents,
Mm-hmm.
right? And instead of beating myself up, like, because I did, of course, I did the math. I would have made like $48,000
Yeah.
if I had kept it. But in the end, I could have kept that money and continued to try to trade with it and lost it all because I had no clue of what I was doing at that point in time, as compared to the knowledge that I've gained now because of just, searching for the right things that could help me to become a better trader and try to be the best I can be in the long run, and make this work as a career one day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. I mean, my whole point to everybody is don't use all your money in the stock that makes you feel uncomfortable when you're down, and make sure you set your risk. And there's gonna be so many more plays. If you have money just sitting in somewhere, it's not worth it, man. Let it go and save up and to invest in a stock that's actually gonna do something for you, sooner than later. All right, man. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate everybody. I'll holler at you later, man.
There is. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call, man.
No problem.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, I love having, people who are learning, and you guys can tell the guy's, learning, and he's figuring out where he wants to be, where he wants to take his trading. I let people call up like that and just let them go, and just let them go. Shout out to you. Let me give you the yodel. You know what I'm saying? Because he's building his trading career. Let them go. So maybe something he can say that you guys can learn. And shout out to Investors Live and their Tandem Trader DVD. In fact, that's the DVD right now. I just put it in the chat room. If you're watching this in the future and want a copy of it, send me an email, happypennystocks@gmail.com. I'll send you the link if you're watching this in the future. But yeah, that's the link right now to the chat to that video. You can download Tandem Trader. I mean, that's another, I think like 4 or 5, at least 6-hour DVD, something crazy like that. And I hope you guys are watching these DVDs because you're really going to be able to get so much knowledge from these DVDs that you can bring back to the chat room. 919, is this Bats?
Yes, this is Bats. Hey, Sal, how's it going?
Hey, Bad Scientist, man. I was thinking about you today and yesterday when we were talking about NVCN, man. I mean,
yeah, I took $1,000 loss, but I'm happy I got out. I should have gone out when you pinged me the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm still up for the week. It's
Good,
fine.
good.
I've learned my lesson. Lesson 1, when you buy a stock, always put, they say put a mental stop loss or put an actual. Now, I would put an actual stop loss. So what I did is, because I made money initially, I made 30% on CVN in the early part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I then, when it was testing, like I said, day before yesterday, it tested the $3 mark. I bought the $3 breakout.
Mm-hmm.
It went to $3.34,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I should have put a stop loss in there at break even or something. So that's the mistake I made, and I've learned from that mistake. So thanks for trying to get me to get out. But we're just greedy as human beings, and we're fallible. But that's okay. My call for today is I wanted to get. Actually, I want to understand like your trading style, because I think on this show we talk about so many things and we seldom talk about strategy. So I wanted you to bring up maybe like the 5-minute chart on IDXG. I don't know if you traded that today, because that was the stock that ran 300% today. So I wanted to learn from you, Sal, because I think, I like to get a lot of viewpoints on how people trade, what their strategy is, and without making it like this call overly long, I'm assuming, right, you use the 5-minute chart, or do you use the 1-minute chart, or you use the
I use the 5-minute. The 1 minute is too scary for me. I mean, that's just too much movement for me.
I totally agree. So I don't know if do you have the 5-minute chart up on IDXG?
Yeah, I'm about to pull that up just now. One moment here. So let's pull that up, slide it back into a 1 day. So obviously, 5 minutes is going to make the day a little bit shorter, but I want to get it in the circle here.
Okay. So I want to pick your brain because I'm interested in how different people trade. Assuming, you got into this trade in the morning, can you just look at the chart, and if you were trading, could you just maybe describe where you would get in, like your entry points, and why you would pick that, where you would get out? Because for me, it's like this is like the key thing to do this consistently, because sometimes you can get lucky and make a lot of money. Other times like I gave up all my gains this week on NVCN, but I think I'm still up like $200, but I gave up literally $1,000 today or for the week, and that's not acceptable.
Sure.
So just like in a nutshell, based on the 5-minute chart, could you just explain what you would do, like your style, and why, for instance, you'd go in and exit at certain points?
Sure. Well, I mean, one, you guys know I trade on news. I mean, I specifically look for huge catalysts, that are going to move the stock. Now, when this came out, I didn't know anything about it. I honestly wasn't, IDGX. Or IDXG, excuse me, wasn't even on my radar. I don't think we've even talked about this stock here on the show, if my memory recalls. But looking at this, obviously the first 30 minutes, I'm just not interested in playing anything at all, because I want to see how the morning is going to start out with, right? So
you typically wait 30 minutes.
Yes, up to 30 minutes. Now I don't have 30 minutes now, up to 30 minutes. And when on the first 30 minutes, if I'm already on the stock, right? So I don't have an alert that brings it up eventually or something like that. Let's say I found out the news the night before. I'm at the chart. So I'm looking for a first major breakdown in price. So my level 2 screen is open. We got a strong, buying trend into, the market open. It's going higher. And then I'm looking for the first strongest breakdown on level 2. So let me zoom in a little bit higher. So this right here would probably, if I'm looking at my level 2, in fact, let me see here. This would probably, be the first breakdown. It probably was 10:15. Yeah, that's probably about right, 10:15. And that's why I said after 30 minutes is perfect, because I can show you this time and time again. After 30 minutes or up to 30 minutes or just slightly after, you're going to find typically a breakdown in price when the orders that are being...
Okay, so you're basically, anyone who follows Ross Cameron, in this case, you would play the second pullback, because that's what that is.
Well, not necessarily, because I wouldn't take this. I think you're saying this open and this slightly. I think I wouldn't consider that. I wouldn't count that.
Okay.
Those I wouldn't
Okay.
honestly. I wouldn't count that. I'm thinking that's people selling into the morning. I wouldn't count
Right.
that. And then
Right.
I consider this as the first major pullback in the stock for the morning, and that
Okay.
would
Okay.
be my entry. And especially if
So
I'm
so
seeing strong support in level two.
you wouldn't get into, so you see the first three red candles, you wouldn't get into that first green candle that breaks the high of the bottom candle,
No,
the
no,
bottom
not for me because
candle.
it's still too early.
Okay.
Not for me because it's
Oh,
still too
okay.
early. Not
Okay, I understand.
not
I
for me. It's still
understand.
too early. So
Okay.
So that
Okay,
again, yeah,
so
the first major
yeah.
breakdown. If I find support in level two rising, I'm seeing buying, and I'm seeing actually
Yeah.
large positions, not 100 share positions coming in. I'm going to ride that, and of course, I'm going to look to for my indicators to find support and an agreement with me, and then sure enough, if I'm seeing again increase in pricing on level two.
And then indicators, you're using your new indicator CCI. Is that correct?
Right. Still looking at CCI, and actually, understand this is not necessarily CCI because I've had changed it, and I've explained that I've basically
Yeah.
changed that to an inertia indicator, and you guys can Google what the inertia indicator does. But basically, when we're over the zero, we're in agreement that buying is still going on, and that when we pass
Okay.
under the
Okay.
zero, we've got selling pressure. So seeing the pullback again on the level two, that there is support, and then I got my confirmation that hey, there's still buying going on. Yes, there was a dump, but they're still buying. There's people still wanting to buy this stock, and of course, I'm seeing agreement on level two. I'm jumping in, and I'm going to go ahead and take the swing. And of course, I'm going to set my
Okay.
resistance line. Well, actually, no, not the ray. I'm going to set
Right.
my resistance line to the beginning or the top where the pullback started. So that's where my top is. And then if we, of course, we go higher than that,
Okay.
I'm staying in. I'm staying in. And of course, after that, it's all about, where we can, what's profit? What do I want coming out of the trade? So
Okay. So it reminds me, what hypothetically, obviously, what price would you have gone into this stock at? What's the
well, let's
price?
see. Okay, let's see if the stock
Like
pulled back like
like
that.
65 cents or a bit
Yeah, I mean now
higher?
we're just kind of guessing. So 64,
Yeah.
65,
Okay.
64, 65, and then
Okay.
at that point, again, let me put out because I love during the trade. I actually like to use the cross
Okay.
because I get to check out my CCI, and as you can see
Yeah.
here on my inertia, we passed
Uh-huh.
zero. We passed zero at about 92 to 93 cents, right? So if you take my inertia
Uh-huh.
line and basically where we go to selling, right, when the inertia line actually passes zero, we're at about 92, 93 cents, and that's my sign to get out.
Oh
And in
wow,
fact, and it's
that's pretty close to the
right,
top.
right, and
That's
it's
pretty
confirmed,
good.
and it's confirmed by MACD as well as my inertia. So I've got two indicators confirming where I need to get out. So
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate with
mhm.
you here for a second. So on the VWAP, yeah, I'm sure people are sick of me talking about
Sure, yeah,
VWAP.
yeah. I can't.
Um,
I've seen your VWAP. Go ahead, because I made sure I had it out today.
okay, so the first three candles are red, followed by the first green candle. According to the VWAP on the 5 minute chart that you're on, what I would typically do is buy into the break of VWAP. So I would actually get into the stock on the third green candle, roughly at about 44 cents. And then if you notice, VWAP is not VWAP is not even touched till the stock starts coming down. But what I do like at the top of the chart is, because it's so far from VWAP, I then look at the 4 and 8 EMAs, exponential moving average. So I don't know if you have that on your chart, but when the 8 exponential moving average is broken, that's roughly probably at about 87 cents. But I think your CMI is actually more accurate in getting the top of the curve because if where the 4 EMA is broken as it comes down, and that's roughly at about 11:05 Eastern. So at 11:05 Eastern is when you get roughly that first breakdown at about, I think it's at about 90 cents. And I think your CCI is a bit higher than that. But the bottom line is that I think your system, I might actually have to put that CCI on my curve because I think you would have probably, even though you maybe get into the stock a bit later, you seem to find the tops a lot better based on comparing my method and your method.
Yeah, I mean, I like the inertia indicator, and again, it's not one that's available in a lot of brokerages, and even on TradingView as an indicator. Maybe somebody who's out there good at coding can create it, but I created it out of the CCI, and for me it works. I honestly, I'm a big believer in it, and again, I always use another indicator to confirm the trade. So whether it be MACD or maybe the 10 and the 20. I like your 4 and 8 here. That's not bad too. I'm liking that 4 and 8.
If you want
nice
really
too.
really tight, like to monitor really really tight stops, use the 4 exponential moving average because as soon as it goes through that, it will flirt with the 8 exponential, and sometimes it doesn't actually go through the 8. But one key thing, and I think when I called in the first time in the show, when I talked about VWAP, I've noticed if you truly want to stay in the stock for a long period of time, wait until the 20 simple moving average is breached. So if you look at this chart, if you stick the 20 in there, that it's only breached at 11:20, round about that time. 11:20 Eastern at 76 cents is the only time the 20 is breached. So if you're really sitting in a stock for a long period of time, use the 20 simple moving average because from my research and what I've done, for a trend to truly be going up or down, that 20 simple moving average has to be breached or broken above or below.
Okay, so yeah, exponential. Because I wanted to see what the difference was between a regular moving average and an exponential. So exponential is a little bit later. I see how now it's a little bit behind the regular moving average, but it's you'd still be in the money. So it's good.
Okay. And for this, like it closed, the VWAP is of IDXG closed at 83 cents. So when the price is below, above VWAP, then I remember like your tweet to me about Sprint being well above the VWAP.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when I just used the 4 and 8 EMA. But when it's hovering, like it actually does retest the VWAP. If you look at 11:20, the lower candlestick wick at 11:20 and 11:25, the lower wicks of those candles literally touch VWAP, and then at 12:05, VWAP is also tested. And then pretty much as you go through the charts, I think at 2 o'clock, the 50 moving average on the 5-minute chart is also flirted with, and pretty much it stays above the 50 moving average until the end of the day. So I just wanted to pick your brain because I think it's important. In addition to discussing stocks that are doing really well, is just bounce a few strategies off each other. And I've learned a lot from this call and, how you would tackle, different trades and where you would get in and when you would get out. And I appreciate that.
Not a problem, man. Appreciate the call, Bats.
One last question.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
what's your number one stock for tomorrow? Like, if someone said to you, pick one stock that you think is going to be a winner. It could be a continuation play, or it could just be, some late breaking news after hours.
Oh
Which one
man.
would you go?
I mean, oh, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. I'm actually looking for confirmation on that one, and I haven't had anybody bring it up yet. I haven't had anybody bring it up yet.
Which one is that?
Let me see here. It's called INCT, and INCT. I'm thinking INCT could possibly, and the volume is still light. The volume is still light. The volume is still light. I would admit that. And but I think INCT could be a huge breakout tomorrow.
Wow, this has like how many days is this that this thing ran out?
It's been pretty consistent. It's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But it hasn't yet had a big volume day, and I'm thinking a big
I see
volume
that.
day could be coming. But I haven't had anybody say it yet, so I don't want to put it out there yet. So, but since you asked the question. It's been a guaranteed winner for the last 5 days in a row. That's the problem,
Well,
But
it's freaking moved from 11 cents all the way to 45 cents.
exactly.
I
We're
think
up
that's
on.
a big
That's the
move.
thing. We're up almost
That's a big move.
400% in the last 7 days.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I haven't put it out there, but it's been something that I have been watching, and I just. Because again, with the whole some other stocks, we're like, oh, well, you told us to get into that stock, and now it's like, okay, you know what? If nobody else brings it up, I'm just going to enjoy it myself. But now that you asked me, this has been a stock that has been a consistent winner for several days, and I think it could put on another, another good green day. It'd be because it's been so much for the last couple of days, a really good consistent stock.
Now I'm going to take your role for the next couple of seconds and say, people here on Small Cap Millionaire, you heard Sal Trader. Listen to the man, respect him.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
man.
much, Sal. Take care, brother.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate Bats
Bye-bye.
for the call, man. Great call from Bats Scientist. Always a great call from him, though, man. Always a great call from him. And I really hope you guys learned something, man. I really hope you guys learned something. The inertia indicator, really good indicator. Exponential moving averages, I don't use exponential. I prefer the MA. And that's because I don't understand exponential moving averages. And I probably should have asked Bats, what makes that better than a standard moving average? I probably should have asked him. I'm going to get another chance to ask him about that because I've just been using standard moving averages for so long. But I really hope you guys learned something from that call, man. Yeah. So I don't want to put it out there, I get the calls, you know what I'm saying? So, but INCT, man, 400% in the last couple of days, man. And it's not a stock where, a couple $100, couple hundred, 200, $300, you've doubled your money in the last couple of days. And I just haven't put it out there, but it's been, a consistent winner and 7.5% on the stock today. And it hasn't had a big volume day yet. It really hasn't had that just yet. It's slowly, putting itself out there. All right, INCT. And I found that stock back when the free F and all those were running. This wasn't doing anything. But sure enough, it's just slowly been finding its way higher. Let's get back into the stocks you guys are looking at. All right, great call, great call. I hope you guys learned something. BOTY, Booty, Lingerie Fighting Championship finally gives some time back. Look, this wasn't meant to run forever. I mean, it's a good. Supposedly it's a good company. I mean, they actually do put on some actual real events. They actually do put on some real events. Now, whether or not, it continues running after this, I mean, it's a slight pullback, 20%. But, to stocks like this, 0040, 20% is nothing. 20% is nothing, So, if you're in the stock, you took the L today, see what happens from here. But I think if we get a red day tomorrow, then I'm running for the hills. 510, what's up? 510, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, 510. Who's speaking?
This is Dave Brantley.
What's going on, man?
Look, man. Hey, I told you about AMD.
Yes, what about AMD? Good run today, man.
Yeah, I keep doing that too.
Yeah, very, very strong run. I mean, do you have any insight on it? I mean, what do you think it's going to do tomorrow, moving forward?
My insight is they're bringing out a new chip. One of the biggest AMD's problem why the margins are not so big is because they focus on the low end consumers. The new chip coming out, like the Zen chip or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to focus on the high end market.
Okay.
So it should make the margins and also companies where you're willing to do more work with them because I'll be able to compete with NVIDIA.
Mm-hmm. So you're with the crowd that says a pullback is pretty much never coming, and if this is going higher, we're talking 11, 12, possibly $13 soon.
I think it can reach all the way up to 16.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It might have a pullback here and there, a couple of days, but nothing too drastic.
Mm-hmm. But you're saying AMD tomorrow, green for sure.
I agree for sure tomorrow, AMD, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, the trend's been your friend for the last several days in AMD, and I mean, it's been the stock to be in since November, man. I don't think you could go any wrong when you're talking about a low, a high quality stock that's been running and has been benefiting from Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer's been pumping the stock up on his show. Buy, pretty much the last 3-4 days that I've watched the show. But AMD. Appreciate it, man. You got any other ticks for us?
Yeah, maybe when I bought up Staples, took STLS.
Hmm. Staples. I think what's their? Well, say that ticker one more time.
It's S as in Sam, T as in Paul, L as in Love, and S as in.
Let me see. STLS. I'm getting something from India here. What's the?
Nah.
Let me see.
Right.
Oh yeah, SP. Oh, okay, SPLS. There we go. SPLS. So SPLS. Oh, $10 stock. Well, yeah, it's been a while since I looked at Staples, man. Staples juice. That.
Like 2 weeks ago when it was like $7.30.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's been causing this run up in Staples? What's responsible for all this volume coming in here?
To be honest, I have no idea. I'm just right now Staples. I'm just trying to chart Staples.
Okay. What got the stock to your attention? I mean, you got it at the bottom. What did you see in it that you thought that it would run higher?
Oh, the reason why I got into it is because I actually was employed by them. So I was in their ESPP program. So I got shares for 15% discount.
Okay.
So I've been a shareholder of Staples for a while now.
There it is. It looks like Staples. I'm looking at the news here. Something about Staples to sell controlling stake in the European unit, Cerberus Capital, which is a huge private capital firm that buys and sells companies out there. Well, I think they're actually American based, but I guess the looks like investors are liking that news because that came out yesterday, and that looks like that's been driving the sale. It looks like the sale of the business is going to be about 1.7 billion. So huge news for Staples, driving the stock price. Looks like been really nice there since November for Staples.
Yeah, I got a question for you too about the what's it called, the pot stocks. You think that sector is done for right now, or you say it's coming back up?
Now what stock is that?
MJNA.
Oh, the weed. Man, I don't know, man. I think when we talk about marijuana plays, I think there is a play right now. God, I probably should have wrote it down. I think I'll dig it up throughout the show. There's a marijuana pump going on, but other than that, for stocks like MJNA, the ones that are a little bit more on, on the disciplined end. TRTC, I haven't checked these. Let me see TRTC where that's at. Again, we had Mr. Lloyd's, CVSI. I'm not sure on these anymore, man. I think now it's about them becoming mature, and look, the markets have opened up. They gained, throughout the whole election season, but now it's time for them to show that they can, operate as publicly traded companies responsible for, growing value for their shareholders. I don't think now that you're going to have a catalyst where it's just running based on this idea, of possibly making money. Now it's time for them to actually start making money, start showing earnings, start showing, that they can, run in the black. And until that starts happening on a consistent basis, I honestly wouldn't, I would just leave marijuana alone, honestly.
Got you. But then, you look at the chart on MJNA. Do you see a strong support at 12 cents for them?
Right now, let me look at what the what's the MJNA again with my idea. I would look at the 1 month chart because I think that's pretty much where you got to be at. And yeah, I mean it's tight. It's really really tight there at 12 cents, and it has been since the 28th of November. So, it's got a lot of support there. It looks like, going back and forth, and eventually one side is going to win. We got to figure out what side that is. So that's why, again, it's really important for this company to start showing that, hey, look, we're going to be a profitable company someday. Here's what we're going to do to achieve that. So this is going to be now, a time where we're going to separate the woulda, coulda, shouldas to, okay, we can get this done. And I think MJNA could do it because, I know they do have dispensaries, they do have an actual business, but, let's see some profitability. And I think that's where, this all lies, honestly.
I hear that. All right, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Not a problem. Thank you for the call, man. Call back anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so good call, man. Good call from him. I like weed stocks. I don't have a problem with weed stocks, but, we can't just continue to just, oh man, they're gonna do so good. They're gonna, now let's start seeing, some professional looking, 10Ks. Let's start seeing them actually making acquisitions for businesses. Start, investing in their businesses. Hey, we just bought a, 200-acre farm in, Washington, or, let's start seeing some real business being done. All that other, bullshit is for the birds, releasing, drinks and all that, that's all full of bullshit, man. Let's see you start getting these licenses, okay? Florida's opened up, Nevada's opened up. Have they applied for any licenses to do business there out there? Where are they in the process of getting an attorney, getting property, getting ready to actually, take advantage of the new market? Where are they at in the process? They're not saying anything. So how do you expect investors to continue to be committed, to being shareholders? We'll see. PRZM, honorable mention. Yeah, PRZM, PRZM, has been talked about here when it was down in the dumps. I remember you guys bringing up PRZM when it was doing this. I remember that. So shout out to people who were in PRZM because, we talked about PRZM when it shot up and then it, started giving it all back. And for it to spike again, that was unexpected. That was unexpected. Now, if you were in PRZM after it pulled back and started giving its gains back, if you knew that it was going to do what this, happened today, I mean, you must be psychic because, what happened today in PRZM, you can't tell that would have happened looking through the chart. All right. Yes, the bands are tight, but I still don't see 100, actual 130% coming out of that. I don't see 130% coming out of that. So shout out to PRZM. And yeah, that's on the biggest gainer list tomorrow. PRZM, PRZM actually not biggest gainer list. Stocks to watch tomorrow. But looking at PRZM, I'm expecting, based on its previous history, for it to be a red day. All right, for it to be a red day, because that's what PRZM does. So I'm going to put it on the list, but I fully expect PRZM to give it all back, because that's what it does. That's what it does. So PRZM, ETRM, MSTX, they're all on the list. I will put on that INCT on the list. We'll see what happens with INCT. I don't know if you guys remember, again, this is a stock that had to get into this. I spent a quality time talking about this stock the other day on Tuesday. Republic First Bank didn't really do much on Wednesday, but the pop really came. Today, this morning. Actually, slow. It was slow, but it was really easy to trade, and I really, really like trading it. FRBK. This was the company that I talked about. They had a new CEO come in. Well, not new CEO, a activist investor come in to basically take over the company. He's keeping the CEO, but this is like, for example, this would be compared to Carl Icahn coming into, a company and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. All right. He did that not too long ago with a company called Herbalife. And FRBK, if you guys remember Tuesday's episode, we talked quite a bit about that. 8% gain on the stock today. Now, again, it's not a cheap stock, but good volume on it. It was a really, really great trade yesterday and today based on what happened on the 6th. So interesting to know. I still believe FRBK can go higher. I think this could be a $10 stock one day, very, very soon, based again on, this Trump mania. All right. I'm going to continue to play it. I love it. I love Trump mania. All right. NAK is an old friend of ours. NAK continues, man. What was up with NAK today, man? Again, NAK continued to, man, there was just so many stocks today, dude. I mean, there were so many plays that were doing so well that, you couldn't keep up. NAK, and I didn't even check out an NAK. This is the first time I'm pulling up NAK. And NAK is a stock that's been on our radar here several times. I mean, we've listed NAK several times. NAK. All right. And NAK Integrated, it's a mining company. Northern Dynasty Resources. NAK, huge move for that. So I'm going to put that on the list too more because it has been consistent. That's a pretty consistent 5-day. You see the 5 days actually really nice in there. That's a beautiful 5-day chart, man. Starting at $1.20 up to $1.93. That's pretty. That is quite a beautiful chart there on NAK. Bats, I remember, I don't know if it was you, Bats, who gave, let me see here. Somebody called up, I don't think it was probably Bats, but DRAM. DRAM was another one today that faked out a lot of people today. And DRAM, I saw this one that got on my list because I had set the alarm from the other show. And sure enough, I got the text and didn't hold. It came all the way back down, and I didn't see the buying pressure that it need to keep it up there. But DRAM, 11%, actually 8% on the day, 11 cents on the stock. But DRAM, got up there, but did the Barry Sanders and kept investors in the dust. But shout out to the people who were in it the day before. You got the gain, and if you were smart, you got in at that high. All right. Yeah, DRAM was man, that faked the shit out of people. Let me see here. SSH, Sunshine Heart. Now, here's the thing about SSH, because I specifically remember people calling up about SSH and me saying, man, this is a dud. Don't trade it. Don't even look at it. Because, again, look, the stock was doing nothing. And we've been in stocks like this before. IMUC was one of them. We've been in stocks like this before that for days on end haven't done anything. And then all of a sudden they pop. It's so interesting because we just got off the phone with the caller who, showed us MJNA, basically sitting at support. And this was a company that sat at support for a long time. And I guess it would have been, a safe trade for somebody. But look how long you would have waited, man. Look how long you would have waited. Since September 28th, when the stock cracked to 22 cents, for you to finally get a gain almost, damn near 3 months later, for the stock to rise over 100, and it actually rose up to 190 something percent. Up to 190 something percent. Treasure Hunter, what's good, man?
What's happening?
Oh, man, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. What's good with you, man?
Oh, yeah, don't even sweat it. PTN was pissing me off, so it was doing its usual thing,
Mm-hmm.
The dipping and bobbing and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the picks I told you yesterday, I got pissed and cashed out. So I was looking through my list today, and several of them really sticked out today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The main one I'm proud of, it was like 18 cents, and I know one of them was gonna explode. I was hoping PTN did, but it didn't.
Yeah, PTN was a dud this morning, man. Sometimes you don't win them all.
Yeah, I know, for sure. So what I did end up copping this one pretty good. One of my favorites, SSH.
Yes. That's the one we just got done. Yeah, we just got done. But no. I want to hear what you got to say about it. What do you think about it? Obviously, man, this kind of came almost out of nowhere. Sunshine hard. I mean, this is running based on basically a compliance catalyst where NASDAQ is saying, yeah, we'll give you some more time to figure it out. And, the volume just kind of showed up out of nowhere. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
For sure. See, I've been fucking around with SSH for about, I think, 8 or 9 months. It was SSH and HHS, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
That one and IKGH and SDLP. Those was my good ones today.
Yeah. Now let's go through this a little slow here. IKGH. This is a casino stock, right? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Casino stock, IG. Let me see here. IKGH.
Yeah, you're right.
Now what put this on the map for you?
I don't even know. I like the way the volume was this morning, and like I said, it's a gamble chance when you buy in so early. You don't really know what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a dud today off, so that was ACQW. Like I said, I bought him in early, but he was a dud. But the 3 of those worked out pretty good for me today.
Yeah, I'm looking at this IKGH just to let people know a little bit more about it. It is a Cayman Islands corporation with operations based out of China, where all the outstanding capital stock is under Asian Gaming and Resort. It's a Hong Kong company that has VIP gaming promoters. The profit streams are from gaming operations by those promoters in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong Casino, IKGH. So that's a nice little China play there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was hoping they did like Sky People Futures did. I was hoping all of them did like dries, but especially the SSH, but it kind of died out.
That's actually a good way for you to look at it. I mean, these Chinese companies, they got investors out there who have access to U.S. issues, and they can buy stocks in America. We saw that with the Sky People Futures.
Yeah, it was the big boys with the big buyers.
Sure. So we'll see. I mean, it's right. It's still developing. I mean, it's still developing here. We see the volume came in today. The average shares traded is 120,000. Today was 1 million shares traded. So, and it's been going higher every, last 3 days especially. So, IKGH China play. I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch this tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a nice little pop going on there. Because I got quite a few takers in this.
Right.
Kind of hard to watch all of them during the day,
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you want to get paid, you got to do what you got to do.
Right.
And that one was SDLP.
SDLP. Now this is a stock that definitely has been on a couple biggest gainers lists that we've talked about here. SDLP. This is an infrastructure kind of play. It does play into the oil, and a lot of oil stocks were up today. I mean, if you looked at the ETFs, and I don't know if it was Tristan, but somebody called up here saying they used ETFs to determine where possibly underlying stocks that have the underlying, I guess what's the word for it, but if they're an oil stock, they look at the oil ETF to see whether or not it would end up being a positive for the day. So SDLP, oil ETFs were running, that stock ran.
Yeah, it did. And those are my 4 pick. And if your indicator says go long on them, especially the SSH, bro. So you said they told them to get their paperwork together and give them more time to do
Yeah. I mean, SSH is just basically running on a compliance extension. I mean, SSH has been under $1 for a long time now. I mean, it's been almost 8
months, bro.
Right. So
it's the highest I ever seen it.
Yeah. So as you know, on the Nasdaq they have a $1 minimum bid limit. Now the stock has been under $1 since July. Yeah, since almost July.
Right.
So now. The Nasdaq gives you a certain amount of time in order for you to get your stock back up. So, it's 120 days, and I believe they give you maybe that 2 or 3 times. So what they got today was very, very unusual. They got an unusual extension from Nasdaq for another, believe, 120 days. Now, I still believe that the stock will reverse split, because I think that's what they need to do to get back over to that, $1 range. But, the market really loved the news today, and that sent the stock soaring today. Almost, damn near,
I kept scaling
200%.
in. I was like, oh, shit, this is going to nosedive on me, and then I, scaling some more, and it kept doing good and got it. What? Shit, fuck it, man. They put half the counters, so half the counters, go doing what that chart doing, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, something happened. Look, the day's range is 79 cents. So the stock touched 79 cents. So somebody out there has the stock at 79 cents. Well, I don't know. It's probably just a bag holder right now. I mean, whoever that is a bag holder. But somebody put in an order for this stock at 79 cents, and it did touch it, and they bought. So we'll see, what happens with that.
For sure. Well, those are my plays, Road Dog. And what you said, bro, your Friday shows is off the chain, man. I missed about them big booty holes last Friday, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Right. Appreciate it. Yeah, I got a lot of flack from that, but it's all good, man. We just having fun.
Chain, bro.
Yes, indeed.
All right, brother. Now I'll holler at you tomorrow, and those one piece for the day. Hey, your indicator says go longer than SSH or what, bro?
Man, you see, when it comes to SSH, again. It's a compliance victory. I don't expect the stock to hold it again. So I'm honestly, when I look at SSH, I think it'll be a red day tomorrow. I wouldn't stick too long.
You're probably right. Right. I got my finger on that trigger.
Yeah, man. I think it'll give some of that back tomorrow. I think it'll be a red day for SSH. 176% for what it did today is a little bit too much. So I expect some bag holders. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there'll be some bag holders to come in, and the smart money will sell to them in the first 30 minutes, and then they'll be out with maybe another 10 or 20% on it. But for the most part, I think you'll end in a red day.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. We'll see what's happening. And like I said, man, keep up the good work, Sal, and you show us off chain, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
You got it, bro.
All right, so let's go ahead and figure out, again, we got some really great stocks, man. Some really, really great stocks, and to talk about, to put on this list. And, we've been knocking it out the park here. Some stocks that we had on Tuesday ran. The bank stock I told you about ran. I'm not even going to put that one on the list just because there's so many other ones that are been running. We had a couple shorts. I know we had some people call up and say they were shorting. GLBS is one that gave away. I'm looking at GLBS as possibly, GLBS 10% today. It could be an RSI oversold, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see on that one. 206. What's up?
Man, I know you're trying to wrap things up. I do have a pick for you. Actually, a little cheap pick and a little um, halfway pick. And both of these are currently in a weekly squeeze. And so the first one is Delta Romeo Alpha Mary, so DRAM.
DRAM. Yeah, we
So the
actually
reason why I like this,
we talked about DRAM. What do you like about DRAM moving forward?
moving forward, so the ADX is at a slope, which means that the momentum is the force. I guess it will be considered like the you walking against putting in a dollar bill between a fan crack. You can't get it through there because the force is so high. So typically when I see the ADX at a slant, and then the RSI is at 47, and looks like the squeeze hasn't fired off yet, but it just started, so it's squeezing. The last time I had a squeeze, it was in, let me see here, what day is this? It was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday had a squeeze around 12:05, and then it fired off on Thursday morning. So right now the squeeze is starting, hasn't fired off yet, but if you go to TTM squeeze, you can see the red dots, and then when it fired off, the green came through.
Okay.
And so the second play is VHub. Now it's a pink sheet, but it's also in a weekly squeeze, so VHUB.
VHUB, VHub, Vapor Hub. Okay, 5% today.
I don't know much about it. I just looked at the financials. They do have a NT, which they were late on their filings, but they did turn it in. Excuse me, they did turn it in. However, this is just I guess what do you call it? Just a little play. The stochastic slow is in the oversold right now, and looks like the ADX is down, which means that you can finally put that dollar through. So it's basically you can just keep an eye on it, I guess.
Okay.
So almost reminds me of the stock that you like, NEWC. So you load up a 009 and ride up to 2.
Okay.
So so that's the only two that I'm looking at. I mean, we'll see how this new weekly squeeze scanner that I have, but it's not fired off yet. It's still in the works, but it's in a weekly squeeze. So the daily squeeze hasn't fired yet. It's just a weekly.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting other people saying DRAM too. Bad scientists are confirming DRAM as bullish. So I'm definitely put that on the list. I mean, it's cheap enough to definitely do something. And faked out some people today in the morning. So I know you got some people out there wondering what the hell happened. But DRAM could maybe has something in the tank left to try to get higher tomorrow.
All right. And let me take a look here. So if I was looking at a price target for DRAM, let me looks like if you put the Bollinger Bands on there, it looks like the Bollinger Bands are starting to expand a little bit, which usually indicates that the momentum is picking up.
Okay. Yeah, it is tight, and I do see here it is pretty tight on the bands. Darken that up for people, but it is quite tight on the bands.
So is that a daily?
This right here is daily. This is a daily chart.
Okay, because the daily that I have, that it looks like the mouth is opening, so that's why I figured that the momentum was picking up.
it's slow. I mean, there's a little bit of a mouth toward, especially that bottom. It kind of opens up slightly, but it's still relatively tight in comparison to what it did for the rest of the day.
it looks like your CCI is up too. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Oh, the MACD is actually crossed at the bottom, and so my histogram is showing greenish right now. So looks like we have a buying signal, but actually the float is only 8 mil. Excuse me, the float is 3 mil.
3 million on the float. So I mean that explains why it has such high spikeability. If that's the case, then I mean because this is again one of those things that Tim calls spikeability. Stocks that just have a pattern where they just kind of continue to just pop once they get some decent volume, because there is not a lot of the stock out there.
Right. All right, man. Yeah, so those are my two. And as far as a options play, I didn't get a chance to look at the volume or anything like that on the stocks, but BP. So B as in boy, P as in Paul.
BT.
It was in a weekly squeeze, and all the.
You mean BBT, the bank?
B as in Paul. No, it's BP. So B as in boy, P as in Paul.
Okay, the gas company. Okay.
And I didn't get a chance to look at. Basically, I'm just looking at my scanner here, and then it's been above the cloud for 3 days, which indicates bullish. The ADX is curling up.
Mm-hmm.
The RSI is at 55, and currently it's that's on a 5-minute chart. Let me put it on a daily and see what it is. What's your daily? Okay, so it's squeezed on 11:29, and then on 11:30 it broke loose. So it squeezed for a day, and then it broke loose. So right now the squeeze has released itself, and that's why you see the increase.
Right.
So, but as far as the volume wise, I'm not sure what the volume is as far as a good,
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty nice day. I mean, 35.40 to 36.20. So yeah, it could have got that at maybe even the 35.50 call, or even the $36 call when you were out of the money, and sure enough, you got you're in the money now, real nicely actually. So I would look at Bank of America too, Mr. Lloyd. Bank of America has been a consistent winner for me, man, and the options are cheap and they tend to double, triple, relatively easy. So I would look at Bank of America too.
What are you buying weeklies for Bank of America?
Oh yeah, definitely the weekly, especially the I want to say it's the 16th, not this week. I mean, I have a hard time playing on Fridays. I mean, that's a scary time for me. But I'm looking at the $23 for December 16th, and that's going for I want to say 17 cents a contract right now. I think you're gonna have to check that. But very dirt cheap to where I know if this stock continues its trend and where it has been for the last 10, 12 days, it's going to be a very, very nice return for somebody.
Man, I from with this RSI from a daily, man, I mean it's really like redlining, and it may retrace back and people are going to gain those profits. I mean, hell, that looks like a damn a spaceship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, bye.
All right. Yeah, we can talk retracing, but at the end of the day, these companies, especially these established companies, we're beyond the idea of them working under, idealized fundamentals in terms of, okay, this is up, 20% and it's got to pull back. We're beyond that now. We're beyond that. Sprint, for example, Sprint has a $4 price target. Sprint has a $4 price target. We're at $8.75. We're beyond loony territory. We're beyond that. AMD pullback was supposed to happen at $8. We're at 10. We talked about AMD $10. I can go back to shows like episode 71, 69, 50. Oh yeah, man, AMD $10, AMD $10. Now we're at 10. So we're beyond the whole, like, it's going to pull back. If it's an established company and there's the idea that could possibly make some money under a Trump presidency, it's going to keep running. It's going to keep running. It's going to keep running. So, people are shorting, getting killed. You don't think people are trying to short AMD? They're losing. They're losing. They're losing, man. If you've been hoping for a pullback, in fact, I think Tristan, I don't know if it was Tristan. When we got to AMD $9, I was like, man, a pullback's about to happen. No, $9.50. Pullback's going to happen. $9.75. 10, 10.15, 10, and now look where we are. And today's range was 10.66. And we're probably going to break through that tomorrow. Who knows? All right, the stock was upgraded today. A double upgrade. Read the news. Read the news. And the company's not even financially stable. We're beyond loony territory, man. We're beyond loony territory. All right. I saw some people in the chat room bringing up that fraud called Kays, Kays. Let me see. Is this the one? Is this Kays? Is this the marijuana one? This is Kays. This is a former oil and gas stock that all of a sudden, decided not too long ago to be a marijuana holdings company. And a lot of people are pushing this fraud. And look, I love OTC just like anybody else. But I would really hate for some of you guys in here who I know you're doing this for the right thing to get caught up into this. All right, the stock could run. Look, if you find a great opportunity for you to buy, momentum looks good. 6 million shares traded. Look, I won't be honest with you. That is strong, man. That's great volume. That's a great looking pump. All right, that's a great looking pump, But at the end of the day, in October 2010, and for 5 years, this was called Alternative Fuels of America. This was called Alternative Fuels of America. And then in 2015, they, somebody came up and bought the stock and said, you know what, we're going to be Kaya Holdings now. We're going to be involved in the marijuana business. This was last year. So you're going to tell me now, all of a sudden, this company that, again, was reverse merged into what was Alternative Fuels of America, that had cash this recent September 30th of only $41,000 in cash, not even big enough in my trading account. And now all of a sudden, is worth $21 million, has a $21 million market cap. And this stock has acknowledged it only has $369,000 in assets. Look, I'm a fan of OTC. I love OTC, but I don't like seeing people getting ripped off. This is a ripoff. Clearly a ripoff. All right. So I don't even want to spend any more time on that. SHIP, $1.20, 45 cents to the red. SHIP, I'm guessing you're calling SHIP as a oversold then, right, KDO? Are you saying SHIP is oversold? I'm guessing that's what you're saying. Obviously, look, looks like they're going to get watered down here by some Class A offerings here. Yeah, investors don't like that, man. Investors don't like that. And, of course, people are going to dump. $15 million offering. They're trying to raise some cash. Not good for the stock. And obviously, you think this is an oversold situation. So it needs to break 130 to mean anything? Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense, Bats. I would look at it, see what it does tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow might even be a little early for ship. Might be still a little early for ship, but yeah, probably a little too early. Probably a little too early for ship. All right. Let me see here. A couple more. ORIG. I saw some people brought up ORIG. ORIG got upgraded by, I want to say, what was it? Was it by Zax? I think Zax gave ORIG the small cap, like, I gave it a buy rating on the small caps. And look, Zax, for the most part, they move stocks, I guess. They do move stocks. I wouldn't deny that, they have a pretty large presence on the financial news world. And, they do run stocks. Let me see some old plays of ours here. PGAS. PGAS was another one. PGAS ran today. And, PGAS, again, running on these high numbers by the ETFs. The ETFs, USO and UCO. USO and UCO. Those are the ETFs to really follow for gas, man. Those are the ones to follow. If those are up, and USO and UCO pretty much run the same way. They pretty much run the same way. In fact, if I put the USO ticker on there, you can see. I mean, it's almost the same ticker. And you might even say it's not even there, but it is there. It's absolutely there. And in fact, let me see if I could put the line. If I can make that a line chart. I don't know what's my thing doing. Let me see here. If I can make that a line chart. Okay, it doesn't want to change for whatever reason. Okay, whatever. But USO runs just basically like UCO. One is like $1 cheaper. All right. Yeah, USO. I like USO too. I actually got a position in USO. I got the $13 call in USO. I'm way out of the money, but it was so fucking cheap, and still got a way to go. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. CVN. Well, Javier Rogers, what'd you put up? Pump and dump. USO. SHOM. SHOM has been one of those. Let me see here. SHOM, Southern Home Medical. Nah, man. I mean, look, SHOM is a fraud too. SHOM is a fraud. Go look at the website of SHOM. I've clowned that company a couple times on their website. These OTC companies don't do it like they used to, man. They used to go all out for a pump. You know what I'm saying? Great website. They'll hire some doctors with some legit backgrounds and, some people you actually respect. And you're like, I might want to actually invest in this company. Now they don't even try. I don't know who these new group of people are right now in OTC pump and dumps, but they ain't getting it done, man. They ain't getting it done. Let me see here. GSS, the gold play. Not a believer yet in gold play, but I mean, it's slowly moving. So GSS, interesting on the gold play. I'm not a believer just yet. Talked to Rhea G today. Rhea G, I don't think she's in the chat room right now, but I talked to Rhea G, and she mentioned SZSMF, my old play from way back when. She said she liked it leveling out right now at 24 cents. I was like, look at you, Rhea G. Look at Rhea G talking some, support. I'm like, actually not too bad at 24 cents. Not too bad at 24 cents. If it can stay up there, maybe she can do a nice little swing. We'll see. I'd have to see if gold prices recover. OTC mining company. Again, I'm just kind of going through some old winners here. Three Hooks. It looks like Three Hooks has got some tickers for us. What is that? PTCT. Real quick before we end the night. PCTCT. Oh, okay. I like that one, man. I actually like that one. Not cheap, though. Not cheap. Just over the penny range. 347. What's up? You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Sal? This is Jamal.
Hey, Jamal. What's good, man?
What's poppin', man? I'm known as Jamal Lewis in the chat. You got my whole government on there. I'm going to have to change that.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, this was calling in. I never really get a chance to call in or catch you live half the time because I'm working. But I wanted to reach out to you and talk about this one stock I had here that I'm keeping my eye on. It's SNMX.
SNMX. Sonomics Incorporated. Yeah. And what do you like about this one? Never heard of it.
They had a press release not too long ago. An 8K came out with them and Pepsi. And Pepsi is going to help them do something in regards to, like, research taste. I don't have the 8K in front of me, but they, like, renegotiated a deal from, like, 2 years ago, and Pepsi confirmed that they're going to help with their testing on taste or something like that. And looking at this stock, and I've read the 10K and the 10Q, I should say, and I'm like, this has the feel of a stock that exploded. I think it was last week. It's like a basic mineral play, VNR. They're not in the same category in terms of industry, but I think they both had the same, like, debt to equity ratio. And I'm like, how's this, like, VNR was like at 50 something cents. I was like, how the hell is this low with this type of debt to equity? And then it exploded. And then now it's in like the dollars or whatever. So I feel like this is the same. I've been riding it for about 2 days now. And I feel like if it goes over 95, it's going to explode. Probably get into like the mid 2 or even touch 3. So this is the stock I want everybody to take a gander at. The float out there right now is at 44.25 mil, but
which isn't too bad at this price though. I mean, that's not bad at this price because I mean, again, at this price, the fact that it's traded on the NASDAQ, you got buyers who are going to be buying in chunks. So that's for 44 million shares. That's actually not too bad for this price.
Yeah, and outstanding shares out there is at 48. So I'm like, everything's like equaling it up to me. And that's why I wasn't so shocked at a stock that you talked about earlier today. Well, not earlier, probably like 10 minutes ago, SSH. That's why that kind of blew off, because it's pretty much in the same category as all these, whether it's NENANY or, IGC. These stocks that I'm taking a look at, and I'm like, you know what, these things might blow. And they're on their way to going to $1. That's how I know they're going to blow. There's another one for you, GALT. I'm not sure if you pay attention to that.
Yeah. Gold is that's an old runner of ours too. GALT. Yeah, that's a stock that has spiked up before as well.
Right. Back in November, when and I'm gonna tell you how I came across all this. Well, back in November, I was looking at, like, after going through some 10Qs, I came across WYY. Not sure if you pay attention to that, but that was like, when I got involved with that was like around like 43 cents, and the shot is I've been riding. I'm about to get off because I think it's going to dip off soon, like take a hard crash. But that's in the 80s right now, and that's when I started to look at the debt to equity kind of standpoint of a lot of these stocks, just in the dilution of shares and all that compared to their market cap and the float. And I think everybody should, when you're looking at stocks, definitely look at the 10K, the 10Qs, and all these press releases that come out, and do your fundamental research. I mean, there was a stock that came out, Sal, that you kind of like bit my head off about. Like, God, it had been in the summer. I don't even know if you remember it. ONOV.
ONOV. Oh, yeah, BioNovelis. Okay.
Yeah, so after that stock, like, it went up to, like, whatever it did, 0.77, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And you were like, look at the fundamentals. So then after that, like I lost money on that because it just it just blew up.
Yeah,
After
investors gonna wake up and realize and be like, okay, I'm out of here. Yeah.
After that, I was like, all right, I'm going to download all these Tim Sykes videos.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to study. You know, I'm not going to trade until I understand what the hell's going on here. Like, the technical stuff is easy. But then when you sit down and you really listen to them talk about the SEC filings, it's just everybody in the chat room download that one. And just really, it really opened my eyes. It basically opens up the curtain for you.
Yeah.
And you start to realize, like, all these stocks under $1 are just shitty.
Yeah.
And it's like so hard to find the diamond in the rough. But when you do, and you find a stock like WYY or the stock that I'm looking at, SNMX, you're like, what the hell are these things doing down here?
Yeah.
And you grab onto them and ride them for as long as you see the indicators say to ride them. But definitely everyone should download that or buy whichever one you want to do, the Tim Sykes SEC filings.
Right. The only little warning I would give people is just make sure you're up and alert because that DVD could put you to sleep if you're not careful. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like 9 hours, right?
Yeah, yes, indeed. And Michael Good, the guy who narrates it, he's not exactly the most engaging person either, but
I'm gonna tell you, it took me like 2 weeks just to get past his portion of it because it was like, well, I wanted to go like, I'm gonna watch 2 of these, and you see them like each of them are like 50 minutes, 50 minutes. They're all an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But he gives good stuff. He breaks it down for
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Michael Good is good. And, but that SEC filing, especially if everyone doesn't have the capital and they're playing these OTC plays or, everything under 90 cents or anything like that, definitely check out the debt to equity, and check out the DVDs. I mean, check out that DVD basically opened my eyes to so much. And you're the first, when I was looking at getting into stocks, I said the last time I spoke to you, you're the first person of color I've seen on there talking about it.
Oh. All right, so I think we're back on. This is crazy. I'm gonna move to. I just fucking did a Google search for moving to Oklahoma, because this is crazy, man. This is ridiculous. Paying $160 a month for this damn cable service to act this way, man. This is just ridiculous. And I know. You put the stream under bandwidth restriction when you push in your bandwidth, but I have unlimited bandwidth. I don't have an amount that I can use or I can't use. This is crazy, man. 347, what's up, man?
Yeah, it's me again. Sorry, I got cut off.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on. I live in this North Carolina. We don't really give options for companies to compete, man. That's why I can't stand this shit. I don't have anyone else to go to that has anywhere near this, the quality I need.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out of there.
There it goes, man. So go ahead and wrap up what you were saying though.
Yeah, the OTC play that I'm looking at, and this one kind of bugged me that I feel like I jumped into it, but ICNB. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. After I did some research, and apparently they had like Christy Brinkley get involved with it.
Christy Brinkley, wow, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a champagne play, basically. Prosecco. She rang the opening bell last week, and she had the bottle in her hand. She was with the Rockettes, and she was pouring out champagne to everybody. They have images on it all over. Like you type in her name, Wall Street. She's there pouring out the Prosecco to all these individuals. There's been press releases all over the place. what are your thoughts on this? I feel like I got, bamboozled a little bit, but I'm waiting to see what it does. It has a little support around 12 and 11 after jumping up to 16. But I'm wondering if this thing is even going to, jump past 16 now, or is this you think it's just consolidation?
I'm looking a little bit more into it over here. Christy Brinkley, I know who you're talking about, but wow, at the market, yeah, I do see here she was there, lighting up the exchange. Now I know she didn't have the whole iconic brands thing with her, but you're saying that she had a bottle of the drink with her?
Yeah, so Iconic Brands actually purchased this the Prosecco company out of Italy.
Okay.
And she's like, the front person for it.
Okay.
And she's been pictured with the CEO of Iconic Brands a lot. And they've been talking about, pushing this Prosecco as far as it can go.
Yeah.
So when that news broke out, probably about last week, and the stock has been rising ever since. But then all of a sudden it hit a wall at 16, and it's been, I'm afraid this thing drops back down to 8, and without any news, it probably may not get back up again.
Yeah, I mean they're going to continue to push the news here because that's what's going to continue to move this stock forward. I mean, I think your own. You can kind of tell it's a pump. It is what it is, and you're probably trying to figure out, can it continue to go higher? Christy Brinkley, she's up there. She's not an Oprah, but there's a demographic that listens to her. I don't know how strong this product is that she's pushing, and where they're pushing it at, and how they're going to continue to use her to push the product. But that takes time to see. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, momentum will slow down, and I'd hate to be in this as this goes forward. I mean, we already have a lower high here, over the last couple of days in the stock. So, man, I just it's not something I would be in. Not something I would be in moving ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because when I got in, I got in around 10, and then it dropped up to 16. I was like, oh wow, this. Yeah. I bought enough shares where I can, this thing goes up to 38. I might be good.
Oh, sure. Oh, man, that would be the life, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I mean, you're already up. I mean, wow. I mean, it started at what, 002 just at beginning of November. So, I mean, you're already up, 800, 900% as it is, So, I think maybe it's had its run, but we'll see. I'll watch it, though. I'll watch it.
All right, cool. All right, man. Thanks for the insight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Yes, indeed. Good caller. Good caller. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up before this internet acts up crazy again. Let me put the tickers here in the chat room. Again, these aren't all the ones we've talked today, but these are the ones that we all kind of talked and say, hey, man, this could run here. The one that he brought up, which was really interesting, the SNMX, that's one of those companies that, if you go to one of the dollar food stores, you don't have the real cheese and you want the synthetic cheese that tastes like cheese, that's one of those companies that helps create that taste. All right, this is a company that literally creates synthetic taste. It creates those products that, it looks like water, but it tastes like, cranberry juice. That's one of those kind of companies. And interestingly enough, he's right on the fact that if a company like this that's trading right now at 90 cents a share has a huge deal put on paper with a company like a Coke, like a Pepsi, like a Kraft Foods, that could really swing the stock a lot higher. Now, whether or not that's going to come down the pipeline, who knows? But yeah, that's a stock to watch. It's a dirt cheap penny stock. It's a legit company with legit operations with some really interesting partners that it does business with. I mean, some big brands I'm looking at here for Sonomics. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I'm keeping an eye on that one. Yeah, it's got some big brands that it works with. RNVA, 4 cents share today, 17 cents. Enterprise Software Company. Yeah, this is the healthcare company. RNVA is another one of those spikeability stocks. We've talked about RNVA. I like it long term. I like it long term because it's dirt cheap. It's profitable. Look at that PE ratio. That PE is under 1. It's under 1. The problem is just it can't find a loyal investor base. That's the problem. It can't find people who buy the stock and are willing to hold. That's why every time it soars, it comes right back down to practically zero. And the last 2-3 days it's been running, but it's already looking like it's trying to find the floor again. So RNVA, good stock long term, but it's got to find people who want to participate and be long-term investors in RNVA. But another stock with huge spikeability, dirt cheap, profitable, that probably shouldn't be trading at these levels, but it hasn't created the case for itself, so that's why it's trading at 17 cents a share. But this is another one that's got, if I'm correct, is going to get a listing warning soon. This is another one like SSH that's going to get that warning soon, because if I'm correct, let me put out the chart. It's been under $1 now for well over 6 months. In fact, what was that? Man, since July. No, since June 8th to be exact. So the 6 months is actually today. Well, yeah, it's today. 6 months is today. So they should be getting their wake up call from NASDAQ. Are they going to get extended, or are they, down in the dumps? Are they going to get extended, or are they going to get down in the dumps? And the reason why the stock is up the last 2 days could be because of that. Now that I think about it, the reason why this stock could be up these last 2 days is because this stock is due to hear back from NASDAQ about their listing status. Are you going to either reverse split to stay on the exchange, or, are we going to give you a little more time to figure some things out? And obviously, with what's going on with SSH, they could possibly get some extra spare time. So we'll see. All right? We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let's get out of here, close this out. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday's show. We'll be back, and hopefully I'll figure it out, this situation with the internet, man. I apologize for that. Typically, we've been really good, these last several days, so I'm not sure what happened today, but hey, shit happens. But I appreciate you guys for sticking with me throughout these issues, because at the end of the day, it's about making money and moving forward. But I'm seriously this is ridiculous. I'm honestly thinking maybe I just move to Florida permanently, and you guys know I got that little thing out there, but just got some things out here that's keeping me here. But this is horrible, man. Horrible when it comes to internet service in this state, period. That's the only people you can go through. That's some communist shit. That's some real communist shit. All right, so RNVA, to wrap it up, you guys got the list. We gave the links to the torrents. If you don't have the links to the torrents, maybe somebody in the Discord room, if somebody could put up in the Discord room, put up the Discord room. Yeah, I am tired. I've been up since damn near 7 o'clock today, traded, and then, slept a little bit, started the show, and probably going to be up reading after the show anyway, even though I feel like sleeping, but I know I got to get my reading in. All right, reading is fundamental, and more importantly, it does make you a better trader to read, man. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's crazy that they don't compete against each other, man. They don't compete against each other. They should be competing. Comcast, all these little cable companies should compete. But anyway, guys, let me get out of here. You guys got the list. If you haven't already, the Discord room is there in the chat room. Discord room is a great place to be. These guys are there and willing and ready to help you out. If you don't have the torrents, you can go in the Discord room. Those guys will hook you up, or you can email me at happypennystocks@gmail.com, and I do a pretty good job of getting to you at least within the day. All right, or sometimes even sooner than that. All right. So appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for Friday. I think I had my piece on the news today, but on the news this week. But there's some other things that happened today. Victoria's Secret situation today at Victoria's Secret. A couple other things that are going on out here. We'll talk about and get to after the weekly wrap up. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time tomorrow, and looking forward to having a really, really, really good show. All right. Check out the Discord room, man. Yeah, tomorrow is Friday, free for all. We know we have the weekly wrap up, and then some stocks that we think are gonna run on Monday, but then we get into some other shit. We always end up talking about the honeys, because 90% of my audience is men, so we're gonna talk about women, but whatever you guys want to bring up, man. Investing, money, anything else. All right. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Later. You said small titty Friday. Oh, man, Mr. Lloyd.